Well, we begin tonight with new developments in the Airway Heights water crisis that has forced some residents to drink bottled water for nearly a year. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nadine Woodward. Beginning this week, some homeowners are getting new water systems to keep toxic chemicals out for good. Now, it's only the first phase. KXLY4's Caroline Rourke working for you with what happens now for those homeowners. Caroline?
Nadine, the good news for them is that once these filters are installed, tested, and approved, they'll be able to drink their water again, and they won't need to pay for them. But really ensuring that their water is safe to drink is still going to take some time, so their wait is not quite over yet.
Comes off of Fairchild into the creek.
Between the home she lives in now and the house across the street, Milwy Haller-Kanega has lived on this land since 1960.
My stress level gets very high.
We spoke with Milwy last year.
There's the well.
And she found out her well was one contaminated by PFOS and PFOA from the flame retardant once used at nearby Fairchild Air Force Base.
Oh, I will be on bottled water for years.
But she's also one of a dozen homeowners who over the next month will receive the new water filters for their wells.
So the filters, my understanding is there'll be 6 of them.
Oh boy.
And they will be here.
You run the water through these filters and the chemicals attach themselves to each of the carbon particles, and that's what's adsorbing onto the surface as opposed to being adsorbed into it.
Paul Stahl and his team work with homeowners like Milwy to determine where the filters will be set up.
It really depends upon how the homeowner's system is operating right now and how it's laid out.
The Air Force asked me if they could give me a shed out here to put in, and I said, of course you may give me a shed to put things in.
When the filters are installed, a water sample is collected and then tested.
Once we've done this and certified these with lab testing, they'll be able to drink their water again.
Even the installation and testing of only these first 12 will take time. And while Milwy says she is grateful that Fairchild is trying to make amends for those who'll drink the water in the future, she's not sure she'll be one of them.
I won't stay here. As soon as I'm able to move, I will. And and that's sad because it's been my home since across the street and here since 1960.
And that's another problem that Milwy faces. She's worried that even if she's able to leave her home won't sell, or at least won't sell for much. Last week, she and several other residents of this area filed a complaint against 3M and several other companies that manufactured and distributed the firefighting foam that contaminated the water to Fairchild Air Force Base. In that lawsuit, they allege that Milwy's property has lost value because of the contamination. In Airway Heights tonight, Caroline Rourke, KXLY4 News.
Thank you for that, Caroline. And in a news release, Fairchild Air Force Base expressed its support for this latest effort to clean up those private wells. Colonel Ryan Samuelson saying, in part, we will continue pushing for more progress to mitigate water contamination for our neighbors.